Hello and welcome to the Migantos YouTube channel. Today, we're diving deep into the haunting and mysterious world of Edgar Allan Poe's poetry. In this video, we will explore the enigmatic poem, The City in the Sea, line by line, dissecting its themes, imagery, and the dark, poetic genius that is characteristic of Poe's work. Let's start looking at the inclusive themes of the poem, and then later in this video, we will analyze how every line affects this masterpiece.
Section 1, Introduction to the poem. The City in the Sea is a captivating poem written by the master of macabre and Gothic literature, Edgar Allan Poe. It was first published in 1831 and reflects Poe's fascination with death, decay, and the passage of time. The poem begins with a vivid description of a desolate city by the sea, over which death holds dominion. Section 2, The Imagery of Death's Throne. The poem's opening lines, "Lo! Death has reared himself a throne in a strange city lying alone," immediately set the tone for the entire poem. Here, death is personified and depicted as an imposing figure. But what does this portrayal of death as a ruler symbolize? We can interpret this as a commentary on the inescapable nature of death and its universal rule over all living things.
Section 3, The City by the Sea. Let's move on to the description of the city itself. Poe's vivid and eerie portrayal of the city and its eerie features, such as the shrines, palaces, and towers, captures the reader's imagination. He describes these structures as ancient, time-eaten, and unfamiliar, making it clear that this city is unlike anything in the earthly realm. Section 4, The Absence of Light. The absence of divine light is a recurring theme in this poem. Poe emphasizes that there are no rays from the holy heaven, which creates a sense of desolation and darkness that permeates the entire city. Instead, light emanates from the lurid sea, which gives the impression of an eerie and unnatural illumination.
Section 5, The Luminous Waves. As we delve deeper into the poem, we encounter the luminous waves that surround the city. These waves are described as glassy and unnaturally still, almost as if the sea itself is holding its breath. Poe's description of the waves further contributes to the overall feeling of unnaturalness and melancholy. Section 6, The Impending Doom. A pivotal moment in the poem occurs when there is a stir in the air, and the waves take on a redder glow. This is a sign of impending doom, and it's as if the city itself is reacting to an otherworldly force. Poe's imagery here is evocative and chilling, drawing readers into a sense of foreboding. Section 7, The Ending. In the final stanza, we witness an apocalyptic scene as the city descends beneath the waves. The notion of hell itself rising to do reverence to this city is a powerful and terrifying image. It leaves us with a sense of the eternal nature of death and decay.
Now let's investigate the literature via the writing. Edgar Allan Poe, renowned for his dark and atmospheric poetry, presents a haunting and enigmatic portrayal of a city in the sea. This poem explores themes of death, decay, and the supernatural, inviting readers to delve into the intricate layers of its verses. Therefore, let's dissect its vivid imagery and themes, and uncover the eerie beauty woven into its verses.
Death's dominion. Lo! Death has reared himself a throne in a strange city lying alone. In the opening lines, Poe introduces the central motif of the poem, death's dominance over a city. Death is personified as a ruler who has established a throne in this city. The city is described as strange, emphasizing its eerie and otherworldly nature, while the solitude underscores its isolation from the living world. This sets the tone for the poem, creating a foreboding atmosphere. A haunting landscape. Far down within the dim west, where the good and the bad and the worst and the best have gone to their eternal rest. Poe locates the city in the dim west, which not only suggests its geographical location but also symbolizes a departure from the familiar or the living world. The idea that both the good and the bad have found their eternal rest here reflects the impartiality of death, where all souls, regardless of their moral standing, ultimately meet the same fate.
Unearthly architecture. Their shrines and palaces and towers, time-eaten towers and tremble not, resemble nothing that is ours. The city is described as having unique architecture that is ancient and time-worn, distinct from anything in the living world. The mention of shrines and palaces implies religious and regal elements, while the phrase "tremble not" alludes to the eerie stillness that permeates this city. The use of "nothing that is ours" underscores the otherworldly nature of the city, as if it exists beyond the realm of human comprehension. The silent waters. Around, by lifting winds forgot, resignedly beneath the sky the melancholy waters lie. The city is surrounded by silent waters, untouched by the winds, which contribute to its sense of isolation and desolation. The term melancholy evokes a mood of sorrow and loss. The water's stillness mirrors the city's quietude, as if both are in a state of resigned acceptance of their fate.
A godless city. No rays from the holy heaven come down on the long night time of that town, but light from out the lurid sea streams up the turrets silently. Poe accentuates the city's godlessness by describing the absence of divine light from heaven. Instead, the city is illuminated by an eerie, reddish light emanating from the sea, contributing to its ominous and supernatural atmosphere. The term lurid suggests a sinister or unnatural quality to the light. Haunting architecture continues. Gleams up the pinnacles far and free, up domes, up spires, up kingly halls, up fanes, up Babylon-like walls, up shadowy long-forgotten bowers of sculptured ivy and stone flowers. Poe vividly describes the city's architecture, accentuating its grandeur and antiquity. The use of Babylon-like walls invokes the idea of a lost and decadent civilization. The imagery of sculptured ivy and stone flowers suggests that nature and artifice are intertwined in this haunting landscape.
The looming presence of death. So blend the turrets and shadows there that all seem pendulous in air, while from a proud tower in the town death looks gigantically down. Poe masterfully paints the picture of the city with its towering structures and the omnipresence of death. The turrets and shadows merge, creating an eerie and surreal visual. Death, personified as a giant figure, peers down from a proud tower, reinforcing the idea of his dominion over this strange city. Death and wealth. Their open fanes and gaping graves yawn level with the luminous waves, but not the riches there that lie in each idol's diamond eye, not the gaily jeweled dead tempt the waters from their bed. This stanza highlights the opulence of the city, with its gaping graves and valuable treasures. However, the riches and jewels of the dead do not lure the waters to stir. This speaks to the irrelevance of material wealth in the face of death and the lifelessness of the city.
A surreal serenity. For no ripples curl, alas, along that wilderness of glass. No swellings tell that winds may be upon some far-off happier sea. No heavings hint that winds have been on seas less hideously serene. Poe uses contrasting imagery to emphasize the surreal stillness of the city. The wilderness of glass and the absence of ripples or winds create an unsettling sense of stasis and unnatural calm. The mention of a happier sea in the distance underscores the bleakness of the city's surroundings.
The awakening of doom, but lo, a stir is in the air. The wave, there is a movement there. As if the towers had thrust aside, in slightly sinking, the dull tide, as if their tops had feebly given a void within the filmy heaven. In these lines, Poe introduces a moment of change and movement in the city. The still waters begin to stir, and the towers appear to push against the tide, creating an eerie sense of upheaval. This change hints at an impending event, which adds to the growing tension of the poem.
The approach of hell. The waves have now a redder glow, the hours are breathing faint and low, and when, amid no earthly moans, down that town shall settle hence, hell, rising from 1,000 thrones, shall do it reverence. In the final lines, the reddening of the waves and the faint, ominous breath of the hours signal an impending catastrophe. The city is destined to sink, and as it does, hell will rise to pay homage to it, emphasizing the supernatural and otherworldly nature of the city's fate. To conclude this poem, in The City in the Sea, Edgar Allan Poe creates a haunting and otherworldly city dominated by death and isolated from the living world. Through vivid and evocative imagery, he explores themes of decay, opulence, and impending doom.
The poem's eerie and surreal atmosphere invites readers to contemplate the enigmatic nature of mortality and the inexorable power of death. Poe's masterful use of language and symbolism continues to captivate and unsettle readers, making this poem a testament to his enduring legacy as a master of the macabre. Moreover, The City in the Sea is a haunting and atmospheric poem that exemplifies Edgar Allan Poe's mastery of Gothic and macabre literature. It draws readers into a dark and mysterious world, exploring themes of death, decay, and the inexorable passage of time. We hope you enjoyed this in-depth analysis of the poem. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more literary explorations. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep reading and keep exploring the depths of literature.